How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Top 5 Saturdays Live with me, Chase Lee, and my co-host,
Brian Sutfield.
That's fucking right. And hey, listen, if you're new to the show, welcome. What we do is we take a look at some of the movies coming out on Friday. We will pick one, honor said one, by choosing an actor, actress, choosing that genre, director, what have you, and make a top 5 list according to that. And the cool thing about the show is we don't know what is on each other's lists, and it is completely live, so we have no idea what the hell is going to come out of our mouth. So, first, before we begin into our topic, Brian, what is going on with you?
I just got back from a screening of La La Land literally 15 minutes ago. I had to go get food because I haven't eaten since, at the time of this recording, it's 10 o'clock my time, so I haven't eaten since 2 o'clock, so I haven't eaten in 8 hours, and I had to eat. So then I came back here. I just talked to Chase briefly about La La Land, and I'll talk about it more on here. But I'm doing very, very good. I'm starting to study for finals. That's another exciting thing. Although I will say I don't have as many finals as people would think. I guess that's a perk of being a filmmaking major. And it's cold. It's very cold here, but it is what it is. But I'm doing very good. How are you, Chase?
Oh, just getting these shows out of the way so I can go see my woman this weekend. That's where I will be this weekend. That's why we're recording this on a Monday, and you won't see it until 6 days from now. So, speaking to the people of the future, which is 6 days from now, how are you doing? I'm really excited to do this week. So, Brian, what is the topic for this week?
I'm eating. Give me a second.
This is what you get for eating chips live on the air.
Just brought up La La Land. We're going to be talking about the film's lead actress, the stone of all stones, Miss Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone is going to be one of these actresses that we're going to hear about for decades to come. She's going to win an Oscar eventually. I don't think it'll be this year, but she will win one eventually, and she's starting to prove herself over the last few years, picking these kind of smaller roles, and she really kind of showcases her talent while still being in the big blockbusters that she probably gets a nice wet fat paycheck from. The cool thing with Emma Stone is that because I know that some of you guys that watch or listen to this show, you probably get really annoyed that we don't pick any older films. Well, guess what, folks? She's only been acting since 2006. That's only 10 years, so we ain't going to go anything beyond that. So I know we're going to sound like complete millennials this episode. So there you go. We're doing good old Emma Stone. So, I'm becoming a huge fan of her, like I said, within the past few years, because she's starting to do all these kind of meaty Oscar roles and whatnot, and departing from her very first appearance I ever saw her in, which was Superbad. But Brian, when you think of Emma Stone, I mean, do you expect a lot from her at this point? What is Emma Stone to you?
I mean, I will agree that she is starting to become one of those actresses that I'm really starting to get into. I think she's a marvelous talent. Superbad was the first thing she was in. That wasn't the first thing I saw her in. The first thing I ever saw her in was a comedy, and that was Easy A. And that movie showed, hey, she can act, even though it was my first time acting. But everyone was like, hey, she can really act in this movie. Oh, crap, I just got a text. New Transformers trailer came out. Well, I'll watch that after this episode. Cannot wait.
Wait a minute. So you saw Easy A before you saw Superbad. So you saw...
Because when Easy A came out, at that time, I wasn't really allowed to watch the hardcore R-rated comedies. I watched Superbad, I think 2 months after Easy A came out, literally 2 months. I saw Easy A in the theater, and then 2 months later, I was allowed to watch R-rated movies. So I started by watching Superbad and Zombieland, and I'm like, hey, this woman's good. And then she started being in more things, like Spider-Man, Birdman, Crazy Stupid Love, now La La Land. She was in 2 Woody Allen films. This girl is starting to become one of the biggest talents in our industry. I love her to death. And at first, I wasn't quite fond of her. I was like, she's fine. She's not fantastic. But now, ever since I saw Birdman, I'm like, you know what? She's a fantastic talent. She's wonderful, and I cannot wait to see her in anything she does. And La La Land's no exception. I cannot wait to talk about throughout this episode.
Yeah, the thing with Emma Stone is that she just keeps getting better and better as the years progress, and you guys are actually going to recognize that in my list, and that is my clue I will give you. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get these things started. So, number 5, Brian, what is your number 5 favorite Emma Stone film of all time so far? Because her career is super young, which means this list will probably change in like 20 years.
I'm going with the film I first saw her in, and I just brought it up, Easy A.
All right. Can you explain to the people out there what it is based on, and like what it's basically an interpretation of? Because I know a lot of people have not seen Easy A, but if they look at that poster, like, oh, guys, it's just another high school comedy. So
okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to get it wrong. That's why, to be quite, I've only seen the movie 2 times, and that was 6 years ago when it came out.
Well, I
saw it when in the theater, and then my sister's a huge fan of the film. So when Christmas came around, she got the movie on DVD, and we watched it. And that was the last time I ever watched Easy A. So I don't remember everything on the top of my head.
Isn't it a variation on the Crucible play?
It's that or the Scarlet Letter.
Or the Scarlet. So that's where
it's one of those things. It's one of those things.
Not the Crucible. That was about witches. I apologize.
Yeah,
it's the Scarlet. It's the Scarlet Letter. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Scarlet Witch, sort of similar. Scarlet Witch, comic book fan. No, but this movie is quite hilarious. It's really well written. It's directed by Will Flick. I think that's his name. He directed Friends with Benefits, which we kind of brought up on last week's episode, even though our episode last week, the actress wasn't even in it. She was in a movie similar to that. And then she made that horrible, no, not she. Will Flick made that horrible Annie remake. But Easy A is quite an entertaining movie. Emma Stone is wonderful in it. She got a Golden Globe nomination for the movie, which is saying something. All the other performances in this movie are pretty damn good. This was like the last thing that Amanda Bynes was in before she went all cuckoo. Lisa Kudrow's in this. I forgot who plays the father in this movie, but he's wonderful. But it's so charming. It has great elements to it. It pokes fun at some of the high school cliches we've seen in many movies. I love Easy A. I think it's a great film. I do want to watch it again. It's worth watching specifically for Emma Stone's performance because, like I said, she received the Golden Globe nomination for this movie. And a lot of people said that she should have gotten some kind of Oscar buzz for this movie. But hey, who knows what could happen. Easy A is my number 5.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid comedy. It's not on my list. But this was the very first time in her career where she was the lead. This film came out in 2010. And before that, she was always supporting, and she would always, be kind of like on the side, to basically support the main actors and whatnot. But this was the first time we actually got to see her chops. She is very charming. She is very confident. She is a very strong main character. She plays high school very well, as most of her movies on her filmography have indicated that. But yeah, Easy A is definitely it's a very funny interpretation of the Scarlet Letter in terms of that whole adaptation and whatnot. So it is a very different take. But I think this was definitely the first time we get to see her chops as a main actress, and it played off pretty well. Just not on my list. My number 5, I'm going to go with the very first thing I saw her in, Superbad. Because here's the deal. I went into that movie wanting to see something from a Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg standpoint. I had no idea I was going to discover the talent that was Emma Stone. She is in the movie, not even that much. However, she is after Jonah Hill's lust, if you will, and she plays it off perfectly. She plays like kind of like that very like straight edge, deadpan type of high school chick where she's like, she thinks that her and Seth are buddies, but then Seth is just wanting to get into her pants, and she has that famous scene where Jonah Hill basically is so drunk that he like falls face first right into her while they're talking, and she yells "What the fuck" while holding her head, and that was a great way to kind of end that little possible romance. But no, she was very likable, very sexy. Very good, just kind of foil for good old Seth, and I liked her in it. She was charming and adorable. So, but the reason why I put it so far at the bottom is because she didn't really get to explore her acting chops. She got to explore her comedic chops, which we then would see in Easy A and stuff. So that does not surprise me when you have like the comedic writing of like a Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. If you have the right people, you can deliver that material pretty well. So I think her and Superbad is a nice, comfortable number 5 spot for me. Brian, what say you?
I love Superbad for show, but I couldn't put it on the list simply because, sure, she plays an important character, but she's not in it that much. And I know it's her first big thing. And Superbad's a fantastic comedy, one of the best comedies I've ever seen. But I just couldn't put it on the list in this case. I wish I could, but if her role was bigger, I would have put it on the list.
Yeah, like I said, you're going to see a trend in my list. But number 5. I'm going to start out at the bottom of her filmography and what she basically blew up in, and that would be Superbad. So moving on to number 4, what you got?
Number 4 is Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
Fantastic rom-com, pokes cliches at all the rom-coms. Emma Stone's character. There's twist around it. Not going to spoil it, but it's a fantastic twist, clever twist. Did not expect it when I saw it in the theater. I remember everyone was like, like it was just crazy. She's wonderful. This was obviously the first time she did a movie with Ryan Gosling, who she did 2 movies with later on. I love her in this movie. She's so vulnerable. She's one of those characters where she's like, oh, I don't need a man in my life. I don't need any of that stuff. And when she does have a guy who apparently just treats her like dump, it's like, Ryan Gosling's right there for you. He wants you, like, not just to get your pants, but he actually legitimately wants you. So go after that hunky man from The Notebook. Steve Carell's great in this. Julianne Moore's great in this. We've brought up this movie a lot on this show. This year, to be quite honest, I think we brought it up on the rom-com episode, the Ryan Gosling episode. It's a fantastic movie. It's actually quite underrated, although a lot of us cinephiles talk about it. But it's a movie that everyone should check out, especially if you're a rom-com fanag. But towards like the last 30 minutes, like I said, we get that twist involving Emma Stone's character, and the movie gets very serious, but it works so well because the characters are engaging, the story's great, the writing and directing's great. The guy who wrote this is actually the creator of This Is Us, which is, in my opinion, the best new show on TV. Everyone needs to go check that out if they haven't already. If it's not the best to some people, it is one of the best. It's one of the best. It's fantastic. Love it. Crazy Stupid Love, wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. It was one of my favorite films of 2011. I love it to death. It is my number 4.
I will pass. So my number 4, I'm going to go with the second thing I ever saw her in, 2009. We're going to go with Zombieland. And I remember seeing this in a theater somewhere in Oklahoma because I was with my friends at that time in college. So with Zombieland, I'm a huge fan of horror comedies. And so going into this, I was expecting a lot. Love the trailers. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really violent and gory. Perfect. That's what I'm there for. So when the movie was done, I was like, wow, what a great little zombie film. Because at this point, I was getting tired of zombies because the zombie film I have seen before that was the Dawn of the Dead remake in 2006. So, I mean, this is before like The Walking Dead blew up. So I'm kind of glad that this happened before. But after seeing Zombieland, I'm just like, I'm okay with zombies without it in my life for a while. But now that we have TV shows now, God bless America. So, with Zombieland, her character is, if you thought Superbad was where her sex appeal came from, it was in Zombieland. That eyeshadow kills me every single time. Anyways, she is an interesting character. All the characters are very interesting. They all have great chemistry with one another. I love her banter with her and Woody Harrelson. They go off each other so well. She's just a strong individual just trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. She, as well as Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, all have great one-liners, and it's just a very enjoyable ride. And it's got one of the best cameos of all time. And that death of the cameo is one of the best of all time. So I really like it quite a bit. What a fun ride. Great horror comedy. She is a great kind of foil and banter with Woody Harrelson and a pretty interesting love interest for Jesse Eisenberg. So, yeah, I like Zombieland quite a bit. Brian, I'm going to assume you're going to pass on this.
I will certainly pass on this one.
Okay, so moving on to number 3, I'm assuming Zombieland is your number 3.
You are absolutely correct. It is my number 3.
I know I'm correct because I think our top 2s are the same.
Yeah, it has to be at this point. Like you said, well, here's the thing. I mean, Chase knows this, and for those who don't know, I'm not a big horror fanatic. I'm not really fond of this genre. I'm starting to become a fan of the genre, but
good.
At this yes, good. Because this year has been good for horror. With Zombieland, I love comedy a lot, and horror comedy I never thought would be a good combination. But when I saw this and Shaun of the Dead at the same time, I was just mesmerized. I mean, Zombieland is one of the greatest comedies I've ever seen. Like, this movie is so wonderful. I remember after I watched it for the first time, I was on a binge watch of it for like a good week or two. Like, I watched it pretty much every single day. I love the shit out of this movie. And like you brought up with Emma Stone's character, her character is very, very sexy. That eyeshadow is fucking like stunning. It is like seductive. It's wonderful. Her banter back and forth with everyone, particularly Woody Harrelson, is wonderful. I love her chemistry with Jesse Eisenberg, and she does very good when she's with Abigail Breslin. It's well directed. It's well written. It's so funny. The cameo, yes, it's wonderful. The death scene, definitely one of the best death scenes ever. It's a clever movie. It is terrifying when it has to be. I love Zombieland. I love Emma Stone in it. I really wish there was a sequel, but at this point, it's kind of too late for one. I would have loved to have seen a sequel. I think all 4 of these guys should have came back, and Ruben Fleischer, the guy who directed it, should have done that as well. Zombieland is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's one of the best comedies of the last 10 years. There hasn't really been a lot of horror comedies of the last 10 years. This came out 7 years ago, so I would have to think this might be the best one. I have to think. I have to think about that. But if you haven't seen Zombieland, do yourself a favor. Check it out. It's my number 3.
And see, we're going to go opposite because my number 3 is Crazy Stupid Love. And the reason why I put that over Zombieland is because of the cleverness and the writing that is Crazy Stupid Love. When that trailer came out and when that poster came out, I specifically remember, this is 2011. Are you guys seeing a trend in my movies with her? So this is 2011. And when you watch the poster and the trailer, they look so generic. They look like any other shitty rom-com that was just crapped out of the ass crack of Hollywood. And you're like, I don't want to watch this shit. I am smarter than that. Well, guess fucking what? This film is smarter than you. Because when I watched it and it came to that good old glorious twist, I was already enjoying it up until that point. They didn't even have to have the twist, and I would have been perfectly fine with it. It was well written and so sharp and so clever in defeating all the typical tropes of a romantic comedy while still being its own thing, while having a good story with good, interesting characters that all kind of intertwine in some way, shape, or form. That is a cleverly written romantic comedy without treating the audience like they're stupid. And it treats you like you're smart. It's a well-written movie. It's got great performances. And it was the first time we saw her and Ryan Gosling get it on, basically. And, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. If you have not seen Crazy Stupid Love, do not be afraid by the title. Do not be afraid about what the poster looks like, what the trailer looks like. It's a really well-written movie. And I have it in my collection somewhere. I will reference that to anyone that is scared of romance movies, scared of romantic comedies, or just want to give one a shot. I always direct them towards that one because it's just that damn good. So, yeah, so that's my number 3. So moving on to our top 2, guys. This is going to be interesting. Let's honestly step back. Let's think about it. Brian has just got back from La La Land. I have seen it twice now. We're both going to have Birdman on there as well. But where? Does Brian feel that confident to put a movie he literally just saw almost an hour ago, to put that as his number 1? I'm going to say no. So I'm going to say that he has it as his number 2. Brian, is La La Land your number 2?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is your number 2?
Birdman's my number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the same top 2, which is pretty excellent because I don't think that's ever happened where we've had 2 spots in the same thing before. So I think you guys can understand where number 1 is going. So once again, do you see the pattern in my theme? Number 2, this came out in 2015. So, wait, no, 2014. 14. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because it was the same year as Whiplash. All right. So Birdman, what a great fucking movie. Now, listen, I understand that people have problems with the whole, oh, it's overrated. It's just, 15 long shots. Sure, that's fine. You probably only watch, Nickelodeon movies. That's fine. Let me teach you something. That takes a lot of fucking work to do. If you were doing 7 15-minute shots, your camera has to be in the right place. Your lights have to be in the right place. Your audio guys have to be in the right place, and your actors have to hit the right marks while the camera is moving. It is a hard fucking thing to do. And there's a reason why it won Best Picture, Director, Cinematography. It won Writing as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it won. It's pretty much like top tier things, and rightfully so. It is a great, fastly made movie. It is always going, which is really kind of a call to the kind of theater world that is in New York City. It's very fast paced, and it's always like, are you this right? This is right. Okay, we're gonna go over here now. Is that right? All right. You get your line now. Okay, I'm going over here. And the film had the pace of that, which was great because it was almost like you're on the edge of your seat because there was so much tension in the movie. But that it's also fueled from the great performances of like a Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Naomi Watts, and an Emma Stone. Emma Stone has probably the most pivotal scene in that movie. Is when she's basically confronting Michael Keaton, her dad in the movie, that you are a nobody and you're trying to reclaim fame like you once were. And that was a pretty powerful scene because she basically yelled in the camera, no one gives a shit about you anymore. So stop trying type of deal. Like, watch that whole monologue. And that was the monologue in that moment where I realized that she is one of the greatest. And she's also got a couple scenes that are on the stage. She's got a couple scenes with Edward Norton where it's kind of like a lot more peaceful. She's just a really well-rounded character that's a great support boost for Michael Keaton's character, especially that monologue. That monologue is very important to Michael Keaton's character because he is a guy who was once famous, and now he wants to reclaim that glory again, and everything's just kind of fucking up around him, and his daughter's like, maybe you should give up because no one gives a shit, type of deal. And that is the mentality that some people have, when they get older and whatnot, is that they feel like they're worthless and they feel like they need to get back to what they once were. And it's just, it was a pretty nice, well-written monologue. And I think she delivered that very, very well. And it was very, very convincing. But Birdman is definitely a great study into what it means to shoot a movie, edit a movie, write a movie, and direct a movie. It is definitely one of those ones you need to study if you want to become any one of those things, because it has different, it has levels of greatness through all of those categories. So yeah, Birdman is my number 2, and that came out in 2014. So you guys can probably guess where we're going with number 1. It's just as the years progress, she keeps getting better. So Brian, what is your favorite thing she's done so far?
See, the thing with Birdman is I praise this movie so much. I love it. It's one of the best films I think I've ever seen in my life, and I get that it's not for everybody. I totally get it. This is not a film that everybody's gonna like. It's a film that's gonna be hit or miss with people. It's gonna be going over your heads. I totally get that. But the thing is, even if you didn't like this movie, you cannot deny how well acted this movie was. I bring up Michael Keaton all the time in this movie. I bring up how he should have won that Oscar. How he should have gone up on stage, how Cate Blanchett should have opened up the envelope and said, Oscar goes to Michael Keaton instead of Eddie Redmayne. But, stuff happens. Emma Stone was amazing. She was wonderful in this movie. I remember when I saw the first trailer for this, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks like that's insane. Like, I cannot believe she's going to be in a movie like this. And then you watch the movie and you're like, wow. And that monologue, dude, cried. It was quite compelling. The lines that she says, she's like, "You're doing this because you're scared to death, like the rest of us. You don't matter, and you know what? You're right. You don't. You're not what you are anymore. You're not what you were anymore. So get used to it." And it's like, what a great character. Her name is Sam, and I mean,
she does it out of love. It's not like she's malicious towards her dad. She does it because she loves him and she doesn't want him to fail.
Exactly. She cares about her dad so much, and you may think that she doesn't, but she really does. When looking deep into her, and at the end of the movie, not going to spoil what happens because obviously there are people who haven't seen this movie. Talks to him about at the end of the movie, their last scene together. It's like she only did this for love. She only did this for love. She cares about her father because her father is one of the few things in her life that means something to her. Her father and her mother, even though they're not together, they mean a lot to her, especially her father. And it's a beautiful performance. I mean, it was something so different too because she played a recovering druggie, and that's something that Emma Stone never played. So it was an amazing performance, and I'm really glad that she got all the award recognition for the movie. Would she have won the Oscar? No, it was Patricia Arquette's year. It was her year. It was her award. You couldn't beat that performance. But Birdman is a wonderful film. It's fantastic. It's something that all cinephiles need to see. And by the way, I don't like to, be mean to my teachers on here, but to my film story analysis teacher who thinks that this film sucks, fuck you. The end.
Yeah, good thing they don't watch this. All right, so that's a great number 2. It wasn't my favorite film of 2014. Like I said, that was Whiplash, and it wasn't even my second or my third or fourth. I think it was like my 5th favorite. It's just because it was a great film, but there were a lot more that came before it that just kicked its ass. And speaking of Whiplash, our number 1s, and I don't think you guys realize this. We've been doing this show for a year and a half. This is the first time we have ever put the film that we're honoring, which comes out this weekend limited, and it comes out in more cities next week. This is the first time where we've ever put the In Honor of movie as our number 1. Like, that doesn't happen. It's one of those things where when I walked out of there, I said confidently, that is the best thing that Emma Stone's been attached to so far, and she can only go up from there. Brian, what are we talking about?
We are talking about motherfucking La La Land.
We're talking about motherfucking La La Land. And let me just say this. She's probably not going to win the Oscar because she's getting a lot of the person getting a lot of buzz right now is Natalie Portman and a couple others. Now, she will probably be nominated, as well as Gosling, as well as probably Chazelle, as probably Best Picture, at Best Editing, Best Cinematography, Best Music. It's going to get nominated for a shit ton. I don't think she's going to necessarily get it. That doesn't negate the fact that she does a fantastic job in here. There's so many layers to her character, so let's break them down without reviewing the film because, go to Brian's channel for that, and you can go, it's actually on my channel right now. You can search for it and watch my in-depth review. But her character specifically, she is a very bubbly, kind of aspiring actress. She's very go-getting. She's like, I'm going to tackle these auditions, and all the rejection that she gets doesn't really affect her, and she's just very happy-go-lucky. She's in a relationship she doesn't really care about, but then when she meets Ryan Gosling, who is this jazz pianist who actually played the piano in the movie, which a lot of people think that was a stunt double. No, that was him. He practiced for like 6 months or something like that, and he fucking nailed it. Anyways, she meets him. She's not a fan of jazz whatsoever, but he kind of conforms her to love jazz, and then they ultimately start a relationship together, and she pursues, her career, and he pursues his. And then I'm not going to say how it ends, but I will tell you that it's not like a typical romance film. You still feel happy for each of their characters, but you don't feel happy about a certain thing. But then again, I like the way it was written because it took that different direction, and it's got one of the most powerful climaxes of the entire year of a whole what if situation. Anyways, I need to stop talking about it before I spoil anything. But with her character, she has a great arc because towards the end of the movie, she matures and she starts to become like this powerful, independent woman that she once strived to be when she was younger in Hollywood. Because in the beginning of the movie, she's just, like I said, she's going to audition. It's kind of clumsy. She's just kind of finding her way around LA. And then towards the end of the movie, she's like, that is a major character shift. So that's her character. The movie itself is fantastic. I am not a fan of musicals whatsoever. This is one of my favorite musicals I have seen in my lifetime from 1990 on up, because I don't watch anything beyond 1990 in terms of musicals. I just don't. I do not care for musicals. I don't. So for this one, it is so fast-paced and so sporadic and so energetic, and I felt like the 2-hour runtime was non-existent. It was totally quick from start to finish. The romance between Stone and Ryan was palpable once again. Their chemistry, great. The singing from both of them is almost angelic. Like when you see Emma Stone start to sing like towards the end or even in the middle of the movie or even the beginning, you are automatically glued to the screen and your attention is held by her beautiful kind of angelic singing. And there's also certain scenes of like drama that really kind of pull through with their performances, because it's not just all bubbly and energetic from the music, even though that's a big part of the movie. There's also a few parts of drama between her and Ryan that slowed down in the movie, which is not a bad thing. It slows everything down, but it almost makes you like tense because you don't know what's going to happen, because everything else around it was so happy and optimistic, and now it's like this like dark, like glooming, pessimistic feeling. You're like, oh no, something bad's about to happen. But that's what's so great about the film, is that it's multi-layered, and it's not just like, hey, oh yeah, it's a fucking musical. Like, no, it's like there's actually like some layers to it, and it actually slows down a little bit to let you kind of breathe and let the actors kind of expand their roles, and you get to see what they're really made of. It is the best thing she's been a part of so far. I have no doubt in my mind that she'll probably beat this film next year. But as for this episode of this show and the standing of this list, this is the best thing she has ever done, and it has literally come out one day ago. And I've seen it twice already. So yeah, I'm very confident it is my favorite of hers so far. Really great musical. It's very great direction from Damien Chazelle. I have no doubt in my mind that it's probably going to sweep a lot of the Oscars, but I am actually really curious to see. Basically, I was telling one of my friends this the other day. I firmly believe this, and you can mark this down, December 5th. La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight will be the three-way battle for everything. Just watch. It will happen. It'll be those three that are going to fight it out. But, yeah, Brian, I'm going to take the back seat now. Why, for someone that literally just saw it an hour ago, why is this your number one? Are you fucking crazy? Are you mental?
I mean, I might be, but to be quite honest with you, look, I expected this movie to be wonderful. I mean, I love Whiplash as well. It was my favorite film in 2014. It's my second favorite film of the decade so far, and it's my 10th favorite film of all time. So I expected a lot from this movie. I loved it so much. I like Whiplash a lot more, but this film is still incredible. Talk about Emma Stone. I do think she will be nominated for the Oscar. The award she'll win for is probably the Golden Globe. She'll probably take home the Golden Globe.
And just real quick, that's actually a great, not theory, but like a great observation, is that the Golden Globes love musicals, and the fact that it is actually a musical this time and not a musical and or comedy, The fucking Martian. I have a feeling that La La Land will probably sweep the Golden Globes. So
it will.
Yeah.
She'll win. He'll win. The film will win that award. It's in the bags. I mean, when you hear the nominations, I think the nominations will be announced next week. you're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna take that. It's gonna take that. All those other 4 films or 4 actors in both categories, they can leave because it's gonna go to the film, Gosling, and Stone, and that's it. I do think she will be nominated for Best Actress for this movie. She has a very strong chance of being nominated. However, while at this moment I don't think she will win, if she did win, I wouldn't be mad because this is the best performance she's ever given. Look, as much as I just praised her performance at Birdman, this performance is just someone incredible. Chase Braub, this character arc, her character's name is Mia. The character arc is wonderful. It is so compelling. Like Chase said, she starts off as kind of this shy, shivering actress, and she's like, oh, I'm going to nail this audition and nail this, and when she doesn't, she just keeps trying, which is a good thing. But by the end of the movie, she matures so much that she, like you said, she becomes her own woman, and it's fantastic. It's a great character arc, one of the best of the whole year. Her chemistry with Gosling once again is wonderful. Her singing was, I mean, I'm a big musical fan. I knew right away that she would do good because she was in Cabaret for a few months, and that's one of the reasons why Giselle cast her in this movie. I mean, Giselle wouldn't have cast her if she didn't have any musical chops. She sung so well in this movie that I hope that the song that her character just sung, like just her character, the audition song, just wonderful. I hope that gets nominated for the Oscar because I would love to see her perform it at the Oscars. Same goes for City of Stars, which is Ryan Gosling's song. It's such a beautiful film, and I have to agree. La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight will be the 3 big ones for those top awards for Best Picture and Director, and most likely Screenplay because they're all original screenplays. They are all original screenplays. Cinematography, Moonlight and La La Land are like going back and forth. The editing in this movie is wonderful.
That's tough. That's tough because Moonlight is so kind of like grounded in like that like kind of harrowing realism with its cinematography.
Exactly.
But then La La Land is like set up like a 1950s musical where like it's so colorful and they pop out at you and everything is so meticulous with the lighting, and there's even a couple shots. There's a few that you go, hot damn. Like you could freeze that and like you could literally frame it up. So they're completely different in terms of cinematography, but you're right. Like they'll probably be the ones to battle it out in that category. I just don't know which way I would want to sway towards that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the exact same way, and they'll probably both be nominated for editing.
Yes.
This movie will get score. Score is wonderful once again. I mean, the Whiplash score didn't even get nominated because it wasn't apparently eligible because, you know, the Academy's a bunch of whores. And
well, I hope this is redeeming them because you know what I'm talking about when I say this, but the theme in La La Land, that piano song that they play,
yes,
which is a great representation of the relationship because it plays during their happy times and their sad times, and it works for both. So I found that like super great when it played for both.
I agree. It's gonna sweep up so many awards. I just really think that this is the best thing that she's ever been in. As much as I love Birdman, and look, I only saw this movie, like Chase said, I saw this movie an hour ago. It's still on my mind. I have to watch it at least one more time to know where it's gonna be on my list. As of right now, it's on my number 4 of 2016. St. Street's number 1, Manchester by the Sea is number 2, and Captain Fantastic is number 3. But this one is like right there. It's like super close. I will see this again. I'm confident that I will be seeing this one more time before the year ends. Like that is the goal. I just love La La Land so much. Emma Stone is phenomenal in this, as is Ryan Gosling, but it's Emma Stone's story when you think about it. It's more her story. The movie begins with her. The movie ends with her. It's her story. Her transformation is basically what carries this movie. Gosling's does too, but Emma Stone's transformation is more different than Gosling's, and I love La La Land, one of the best films of the year. Everyone, telling you this, you gotta go check it out. And look, you're hearing from Chase, a guy who does not like musicals. He loved this movie, and it's currently like in his top 5. From the last few times I talked to him, it's in his top 5. So that's saying something. When a guy or girl does not like musicals and they love La La Land, that's saying something because I talked to a few people after the screen. Most people are hit or miss with screens, and the ones that are miss with screens, they love this movie. So yeah, La La Land.
You know what's really amazing is that I am not a fan of musicals whatsoever, but I have 2 of them in my top 10. Like, can you believe that shit? Like, I never would have thought in a million years I'd have 2 of them on my top 10, but I love Sing Street to Death, and I love La La Land to Death. But then again, I guess Whiplash is technically a musically movie. I don't know how you would classify it. But yeah, no, I'm starting to. I think Damien Chazelle has really kind of propelled me to give musicals a chance, and I think that's the biggest compliment I can give this film is that I am more open to musicals now because of this man. Now, I do like some musicals, like I like the obscure ones, like a South Park or like the Muppets or whatever. But like, I'm not like a diehard like Singing in the Rain and like Sound of Music and the old school like Andy. I'm just nope, just stop. I'm not a fan of those. However, after watching La La Land, which is like a traditional old musical, I actually kind of want to go back and watch them now. So, what are you gonna do? So, yeah. So me seeing it twice and Brian just now seeing it, and we're putting it as our number 1 as the in honor of. You guys gotta go see this shit. So, yeah, that's it for our 5 guys. Here's our list. It's basically the same if we swapped out Easy A and Superbad for one of the same. So, yeah, what about you? What are some of your favorite Emma Stone movies? Comment in a place for my face and let me know. So let's move on to ones that just barely, didn't make our list. I'll go Easy A for sure. I'm pulling up my list right now, and this is live, so I look stupid. Oh, gross. 2008 was a terrible year for her. She was in The Rocker and The House Bunny.
Ew.
Let's see. Oh, gross. She was in Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
Ugh.
She was also in. Oh wow, she was in Paper Man, that the blonde hair Ryan Reynolds movie. It was okay. She was in The Help. I never saw The Help. I still need to see it. So, but then again, I think Girl on the Train pretty much like ruined my chances to watch anything from Tate Taylor. So, yeah. I'll go Croods. The Croods for sure. Never saw Gangster Squad. So, and then I'll say the first Amazing Spider-Man because we'll get to the what in just a second. And that's pretty much it for my honorable mentions because that's all I have seen. So, what about you?
Superbad, definitely. The Help is wonderful, and yeah, you should give it a chance. I mean, yeah, the Girl on the Train sucked. It sucked. It was so bad, but The Help is really good. The James Brown biopic he did was also very good. So I would consider giving Tate Taylor a chance. I like the first Amazing Spider-Man as well, and I will also mention The Croods. The end.
Okay, so Dishonorable Mentions. Oh man, I've been fucking ready for this.
Can we wait? Can we do that? Could I go first because I think that might be your only dishonorable mention?
No, there's 2 of them.
Oh, but could I go? Because my worst is different than your worst, so I just want to go first.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So dishonorable mentions: Gangster Squad. It was just so disappointing because it looked great. I love all those actors. Gosling and Stone worked together again. They were great together, but the movie was just so fucking sappy. Here comes Santa Claus. Like, just get Sean Penn. What the fuck are you thinking, man? You're a 2-time Oscar winner. Go back to your Mystic River isms or Fast Time in Ridgemont High. Marmaduke. Aloha. Aloha was so goddamn disappointing. It should have been a great film. It should have been a great film. It should have been a great film. It should have been like at least one of the good films that came out around that time. It was so fucking dumb that I felt bad for everyone in the cast. The trailers were great, but the actors were just blah. She was blah. Bradley Cooper was blah. Rachel McAdams was blah. Bill Murray was blah. Alec Baldwin, Danny McBride, John Krasinski, all of them were just so blah. And the fact that they made her an Asian, look, I'm not fond of whenever Hollywood whitewashes things, but this was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I'm sorry. So yeah, go ahead, Chase. Mention your dishonorable mentions, and then we'll get to your worst.
Okay, Here's the deal, because I know a lot of people are thinking it. Oh, it's got to be movie 43, right? Here's the deal.
Oh, I forgot she was in that. Oops.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, folks. When you watch the trailer to that, you don't expect much. So walking out of it knowing it's a terrible comedy doesn't really surprise me. You know what does surprise me is 8 goddamn months of advertising, shoving every single fucking trailer down your throat and TV spot. And you are hyped out of your mind because the first one was pretty good. So you're like, well, this second one looks great. They're putting all these villains in there. That's a little worrisome. However, I'll give it a shot. Still to this day, it is one of the worst comic movies I have ever seen. How can you not mention The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
That's my worst as well.
And the only redeemable thing is, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it because you're not going to watch it anyways, when she snaps her neck and dies. And Peter's sitting there crying. That's like the only convincing scene I was like, okay, that wasn't bad. But that movie is so messy by having underdeveloped and cartoonishly bad characters in terms of their villains. Jamie Foxx's Electro is embarrassing. Dane DeHaan as the Green Goblin.
Humiliating.
It comes out of nowhere. I remember that scene. They're just like, they're sitting in a little electrical field or whatever, and he just appears on the surfboard, and he's like, I'm here. And it's like, what? No. You stop that, Dane. Go back to Place Beyond the Pines and sit there and think about what you did. On top of all that, it's a very bloated movie. It's very messy, and it's basically Sony's way of going, well, we're going to do the Sinister Six, and we should probably shove every single thing in there to reference that and not actually make a good movie and just lead off into another movie. Don't do that. I'm so sick of that shit. Make a good movie first. And then if you want to announce Sinister Six, hey, good for you. Go have a fucking party. But do not start cramming the sequel with stuff of that. And then, backstory with Peter's parents was completely out of the blue. And then you have the underwhelming villains, and it's just nothing really had any stakes to it. It was just all, oh my God. Like, the more I think about it, the more just how disappointing it is. And you wonder why Sony is partnering up with Marvel now, and they're coming out with the movie together instead of Sony doing it by themselves. So that's got to be the worst thing. And with her as Gwen Stacy in particular, I never once bought into it at all. Their chemistry is good because they were fucking in real life, but her as a character was not really anything. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm here. I work over here with the lab stuff. Come save me when I fall off a building. That was basically it. So, Brian, just fucking go for it.
I mean,
this film makes me depressed.
I didn't hate it when I first saw it, but then when it came out on cable, like on Stars or HBO, whatever service it came on, I watched it and I was just like, I was in shock. Like, I mean, look, here's the thing with me. I mean, after hearing all the marketing issues that the first one had, I did the smart thing by just watching the first trailer of the movie and then avoiding all the other marketing. All of it. The movie was just so bland and bleak. It was more colorful than the last one, which was, I guess, a slight pro. But the thing is, the movie's so choppy and convoluted and everything feels rushed, and then they put these characters in that are so underdeveloped. It's like, why? They had so much potential to do something good, and so much drama happened on set that they fucking cut out Mary Jane Watson, who's going to be played by my love of all time, Shailene Woodley, which would have been great, but then they cut her out. They just cut her out after they filmed all of her scenes. Like, what the fuck, Sony? And I feel bad because I feel like everyone in this movie actually tried. I feel like they did try. And you know that whenever you have talent like this, Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx, Dane DeHaan, Paul Giamatti, even Paul Giamatti. Poor Paul Giamatti.
I fucking forgot about that.
Poor Paul Giamatti. poor guy. And Mark Webb is a wonderful filmmaker. I mean, he directed 500 Days of Summer, and the first one is well directed. And I don't know if he has anything else coming out. I'm not sure. I would have to look that up. But I still have confidence in this guy as a filmmaker. I think he could do something good again, just maybe not something big budgeted, even though he did claim that he was a huge, huge Spider-Man fan when he was growing up. So Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. It's probably my top 10 worst, probably in the bottom 5, because I've seen more that are worse than this, i.e. Fantastic Four and many others. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is just a sad, sad thing. And yeah, I will agree with Chase. The scene where Gwen Stacy does die is well acted. It's well done. Hans Zimmer's score does swell up, and it's really well done. It's sad, but I mean, it was very convincing because Andrew Garfield is a wonderful talent. Even he couldn't save this movie, which is sad because he's a wonderful guy. He's wonderful. Oh, Sally Field. I forgot she was in these movies too. Poor Sally Field. Yeah. That's it on the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I forgot about Rhino with Paul Giamatti. He opens the movie and he closes the movie. There's no ties in with anything else. And he just appears. And at the very end, there's a group of people watching this. And there's like a kid like walks out in front of him and like he doesn't do anything about it. And like it's just so fucking bizarre. And here's the biggest like red flag about this movie. I don't know if anyone else out there is like me, but I'm so sick and tired of these trailers revealing the last shot of the movie. I think it was like the second or the third trailer. It shows a shot of Spider-Man flinging a sewer cap towards Rhino, and then it goes, May 2014. That's fantastic, but that was also the end of the movie. Like, why do they have a hard-on for showing, like, the end frame in the trailers? It makes no sense to me. Quarantine was another example. You guys remember that trailer? The trailer ends with the last shot of the movie. It's stupid. Just stop doing that. So I'm done. So, yeah, what about you guys? Hopefully Amazing Spider-Man 2 is your worst one. If it isn't, I hear Aloha's pretty bad. I hear Gangster Squad's pretty bad. So, surprise me. Let me know down below. So, Ryan, what are we doing next week for our Pop a Blood Vessel?
Hold on. Before we talk about next week, I was looking up to see what she has coming out, like her upcoming films. She's doing this movie called The Battle of the Sexes. It's like a competition movie with Steve Carell, and it's directed by the people who directed Little Miss Sunshine, which is awesome. She's playing Billie Jean King, who is like a famous tennis player. And it's about the 1973 tennis match between Billie Jean King and ex-champion Bobby Riggs. Like I said, it's directed by the people who directed Little Miss Sunshine, and it's written by the Oscar-winning writer of Slumdog Millionaire. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. And supposedly she's doing some show with Jonah Hill, a dark comedy show called, let's see where it is. It's here on IMDb. It is called Maniac, and it's going to be directed entirely by the guy who directed the first season of True Detective. So that sounds pretty awesome. So yeah, next week Rogue One comes out, and we are going to be doing female-led action movies as our main topic.
I'm going to have to do some research. I'm not going to lie. And it's not because I'm sexist or anything. It's just I've seen a lot of movies, guys. And so like I literally have to would have to sit down and be like, oh yeah, that would count, that would count, that would count. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think there might be some extraterrestrial options in there. Maybe some robot movies in there. I actually, never mind. I just thought of a couple. So yeah, so it shouldn't be that hard, but yeah, I will have to do some research, but that will be next week, guys. So Brian, before we head out, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrianSuts98 and on YouTube at Brian Sutfield.
You can follow me on Twitter at RealChaseLee. Subscribe to my YouTube page, La La Land. My review is on the channel right now. But at this point, you won't see this episode until Saturday, so it's been up there for 6 days. So, yeah, go to that podcast. You guys know the drill. Just Google me. You'll find shit. So, yeah. Brian, any other closing words?
Yeah, please, people, go see La La Land. Check it out. I mean, if you're someone who loves Oscar films, It's going to be all over the award sites. If you love Whiplash, check it out. If you love musicals, go check it out. If you love Gosling and Emma Stone, check it out. It's an experience of a movie. It's very magical. I had a smile on my face. I cannot wait to watch it again. Hopefully before the year ends. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I just don't understand how anyone can not like this movie. Like, it's very charming. Like, Ryan Gosling basically charmed you as the audience. And it's like, how do you not just like kind of like this movie? It's like, yeah, I'm kind of into it. But yeah, it's kind of like just a magical, like you said, whimsical experience that definitely harkens back to old golden age of film. So yeah, highly recommend it. Go check it out. So that will do it for this week's episode of Top 5 Saturdays Live. I'm Chase Lee.
I'm Brian Suffield.
That's fucking right. And we'll see you guys next week for female-led films. Yep. All right. See you guys next week.